This video is dedicated to the administration widget. We're going to be going through all of the functions of the administrative widget. We're going to be using the lab version of Quincy for this. If you have a different version of Quincy, you may see a subset of what we're going to explore today. But your functions will certainly be in this video. You just might not see all of the things in your version. Some of them really don't apply to the other versions of Quincy. This video is going to be an overview. We're going to explore generically what the administration widget is about, the concept behind it, and some of the higher level functions. We're going to have sub-videos, lots of sub-videos devoted to the administration widget. And so if you're interested in any one of these subjects and you want to drill down deep, go to that video. This is going to be more of a high-level video. So let's get into it. Here is the administration widget. So we'll double-click on that, open it up. You can see it's a very large widget. It's got a lot of tabs there. It does a lot of things. And to be honest, over time, this is only going to grow. So if you're watching this in, maybe 3-4 months from now and you happen to notice there's another tab and we haven't updated this video yet, don't be surprised. Nonetheless, this should be a pretty comprehensive overview of what the widget does. The point of the widget is to control the function, look, and feel of the product for your users. Let's just at a high level go over what each one of these tabs does. Cases, let's click on that. Cases is just a list of your cases. It allows you to organize your cases. It allows you to assign users and groups to your cases. It allows you to sort of see a summary of the storage needs of your cases. Users are just as you would expect, a list of users. You can assign users to you can assign cases to users. You can assign a user to a group or a group to a user. And you can assign roles to a user. Groups are just groups of users. So think of a group as a user in all respects. They can be used like users everywhere throughout the program, except they are in fact groups of users. So in this widget, you can assign cases to a group, you can assign users to a group, you can assign roles to a group. Roles are sets of permissions. So if you are an administrator, you will have all possible roles associated with the product. If you're a reviewer, you may have a subset of roles, and those roles will govern how the tool looks to you and what you can do. Roles ultimately get assigned to users or to groups. Labels. Labels are who can see which labels in the product. And we're going to have a video on this, so I'm not going to explain it. It looks sort of barren at the moment, but you can come in here and select the cases you want, and all the labels in that case will pop up. So these are all the labels associated with the predictive coding case. Column groups are groups of columns that can get assigned to users. So if you want the user to see a certain number of columns, you can go ahead and create that here. Custom views, critically important to the Quincy product. Not going to spend much time on it right here, but it's got its own video, but it controls exactly how the product looks. Task types, we'll go over this again in a number of different videos, but this controls the different types of tasks for tagging. For tasking, not tagging, tasking. Filters, if you want to create filters and assign those out and give them buttons, you can do that here. These are these filters here on the left. This one, if I hover over, it's going to say Tim. See, that's the Tim filter. If I were to delete it, this filter would disappear. Let's just do that. There you go. Chart templates govern the different types of charts you can have. Or at least groups of charts, if you will. And again, it's got its own video. Crime types is really a really powerful tool for the Watson widget. But this is where you define what a crime type is. System administration, critical. This is the ability to start or restart, if you will, the different services that run in the product. And then finally, viewable files. This controls how the viewer performs. Again, its own video, so not going to spend much time here, but I will say, if you ignore this and you don't do anything and you don't do any configuration, you will be upset eventually, because your viewer will try to render a gig file and it will suck up your RAM and you will crash, or something horrible will happen and you'll wonder what happened. So this is an important function, administrative function to understand and get familiar with. So that is a quick overview. Probably not overly helpful, but the individual videos are where you really need to go to the meat of the information. This is just meant to give you a sense of the scope of the widget. So I hope it was at least a little bit helpful and get you started on your journey.